Hey folks, my name is Jürgen, aka Nerd and Proud of It, and Destiny has brought you to my channel today to talk about the reserved list and why nobody cares anymore. Because with the high prices of the serialized cards, especially in Lord of the Rings, of course, the prices of the reserved list don't really matter anymore, because yeah, the serialized cards are much more expensive. It's a bit crazy to me. So this video will trigger a lot of people, as always, when I talk about the reserve list. Because you know, folks, at least the regular viewers know, I am for the reserved list. I have been there when Chronicles came out, and to me the reserve list is something very important for the health of the game. And I talked about that a lot. A lot of people disagree, and cards like this to me are very, very special. The Mishra's Workshop. This is a card that's probably roughly around 3,000 bucks. I know I'm not doing this to show off. I don't care. I'm collecting this shit for 30 years. And I think I'm allowed to have a couple of nice cards because it's a long time that I invested in this game. And it's a lot of money that I invested in the game. Cards like Power Artifact, Transmute Artifact, a couple of $100. Very, very cool cards. And I think it's fair to have the reserved list be there, and yeah, if you wanna buy a reserved list card, you still can. Most of them are available on the market, and the obvious argument up to now was that the reserve list is way too expensive. But if you look at a card like the Mishra's Workshop, and we're gonna have a look at some others, and then you look at the price of, for example, Neon Ink cards. I think that's when when it all started a bit to become very expensive, the modern stuff. And if you have a very rare Neon Ink card, or if you have an Ancestral Recall like this, it's a little dust speckle here in here. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's in the sleeve. Good. It's not the card. I think every time I look at this, I'm worried that is on the card, and I always remove the card from the double sleeve to see. I should just remove the dust speckle at one point, but okay. Cards like this, Ancestral Recall, in my opinion, the best card in the game. It's not my personal favorite, but I think it is the best card in the game, and it is one of my personal favorites, of course. Folks, deep sigh. So people get triggered and got triggered about this. Time Walk, same thing, a couple of $1,000. People got triggered. Yeah, why should you have a card that is so expensive and I can't get it? It's very simple. I don't think everything is and should be available to everybody. I want to drive a Porsche as well, but I can't afford it. And of course it's not the same because it's game pieces. I get it. Copy Artifact as well here, Brain Guys here, the unlimited version, couple of $100 maybe. Yeah, it's, in my opinion, very easy that these cards are essential to what Magic the Gathering is. Not only are they iconic, but again, we talked about this a lot, and a lot of people will get triggered about this, but yeah. It is what it is. It's my opinion. If you don't like it, yeah, let me know your opinion. I'm interested. Same goes for the Black Lotus here. This is probably around 14,000 bucks. Again, not to show off. I've been collecting for 30 years, so yeah, you accumulate some stuff. It is what it is. I've traded a lot. I sold a lot, and sometimes I buy some stuff. Is this Black Lotus 13,000 bucks worth the same as a serialized one of, what is it, 300 card that has sold for 13,000 bucks? Is there still an argument, but I can't afford a Black Lotus and you can, and that's why the card should be reprinted? If people pay 13,000 bucks for a new card just because it's serialized. Same goes for the Moxes, a couple of $1,000. Yeah, there are hundreds, I think, at least dozens of serialized cards between 2,000 and 5,000 bucks on eBay. Last time I checked, a couple of them sold for a few $1,000s. I think if you now, when all this is happening, complain about the reserve list being too expensive, especially at the moment, then it's not a valid argument anymore. Because yeah, if you can buy a serialized card for a few $1,000, what is the problem with buying a MOX? I know it's limited quantities, but serialized cards are limited quantities as well. So yeah, dual lands, whole different story. I think I'm gonna make a separate video about dual lands. But yeah, it's the same thing. Why do you pay a couple of hundred? Why do you pay $600? Yeah, even this is reserve list. Nobody cares because it's not playable. But yeah, I love it. That's a whole nother level to the discussion as well. The more playable it is, the more expensive it is, of course, if it is reserve list. Sword of Kaldra, pretty cool card. Nobody cares neither. Same goes for Presence of the Master, maybe $50. Metal Worker, very cool reserve list card. Was very expensive, dropped down to $100, but still. This is less expensive than some other cards. Lion's Eye Diamond as well, a couple of $100. You get the idea. The thing is, if I buy a Lion's Eye Diamond, or if I buy a serialized card or a neon ink card, or something else that is from recent sets, what is the difference? Yeah, Lion's Eye Diamond is reserve list and it won't get reprinted anymore, but you can still buy it. You can still buy it for that amount. If it would be $5,000, yeah, the same goes for Wheel of Fortune. It was $1,000. Everybody complained because they wanted it for their Commander decks. If it would be $5,000, then the discussion probably would flare up again. But at the moment, you see all these reserve list cards. Some of them, even this is reserve list. It's $20 because it's not playable. But yeah, it's purely, it is a bit playable. Not the point. What I want to say and what I think is something that is very strange to me, because I haven't seen that in quite a while. Nobody's caring about the reserve list anymore because the focus shifted to other expensive stuff, and now the reserve list is not a problem anymore. Nobody cares. Nobody is concerned about the high prices, and they are still pretty high. Like I showed you the cards in the beginning. Again, not to show off, but to mention there are still some very valuable old cards in Magic the Gathering out there. The funny thing is, with collecting, that once something else has replaced the actual thing people were after for a while, which at the moment, of course, is the serialized cards, then the other stuff somehow is not relevant anymore. And I think it's crazy that people spend $13,000 on a serialized card if they could buy a nice Black Lotus for the same amount of money. But on the other hand, if that person enjoys that serialized card more because it's their current stuff they are interested in, and it's what they grow up with, totally makes sense, because it's kind of reserved list as well. But nobody's complaining because you are the only one who can get that serialized 1 of 300 or 1 of 500 or 600 and 1 of 900 cards. It's kind of reserved. If I want that card, it will probably be impossible for me to get it, and I can get the same card in a different way, and that of course distinguishes it a bit in a different version. Distinguishes it a bit from the reserve list. I totally get that point. But in the end, the idea behind it, that it's rare and that it's expensive because of the fact that it's rare, is the same. And the reserve list cards are in some cases now even cheaper than serialized cards. And if you want to have a Time Twister in your Commander deck, it will set you back half of the price of the 1 of 300 rings serialized card that you want to have in your Commander deck maybe as well. Even less probably, maybe a third of the price. It's funny. It's yeah, I think it's really funny. It's with all the craziness about the reserve list and all those social justice warriors shouting for the reserve list to be abolished, and now nobody cares anymore and everybody just accepts the high prices. To me, it's crazy. If you enjoy it, go for it. I think if I want to pay $1,000 for a gay ass cradle, and you want to pay $1,000 for a neon ink card, that is roughly the same amount of value. Go for it. It's the same thing. I'm just an idiot as you are, so all fair. I'm not excluding myself, but then please shut the fuck up about the reserve list, because it doesn't make sense anymore. Because it's the same thing. It's paying high prices either artificially or in with the new stuff, the serialized stuff, or the unique stuff like the neon ink cards. That's artificial scarcity, and yeah, we all pay it, and it's kind of reserve list vibes as well. And with the old stuff, it grew organically, and because of actual scarcity, and even that is relative, because the stuff, there wasn't a moment when you couldn't buy a single Mox. There's always been a Mox Sapphire on the market. It is not the case that it's totally gone or whatever. The prices were pretty steep at a certain point, yes, but yeah, they are at the moment as well when it comes to Lord of the Rings stuff, even sealed stuff. Yeah, to me, it's a bit weird. It's a bit weird. It's a weird subject, but yeah, maybe I'm just not grasping the concept, what the difference is. I'm interested what you have to say about this. Let me know in the comments. At the moment, I have seen that I often do not... The last 1 or 2 weeks I have problems with YouTube Studio, which is very buggy. And I actually have problems with getting notifications for the comments. And I still am very proud that I normally answer every single comment. If I missed one, definitely sorry for that. I just probably didn't get the notification for it. I already am checking the mails and the YouTube Studio notifications as well, just to make sure, because sometimes some show up here and others show up there. It's very strange, but just so you know. Still, let me know in the comments what you think about this subject. And of course, I really want to thank you all for being part of this channel. It's going well at the moment. Thanks a lot for that. If you are here still that late in the video, which probably all the angry people are not. We abolished the reserve list. Please, just go home. It's good that you are all here, and you are still here, and you support me either by clicking the like button, leaving a comment, or being a Patreon, because then I can say stuff like this, and I don't have to care that people want to cancel me or whatever. Which is fine, and which often happens when I talk about controversial stuff like this, or if I say something people do not agree with. And I still think we can have an open discussion about things, and I am just voicing my opinion, and I'm happy to hear yours, and I'm always encouraging you to hear yours and voice yours. But if you just want to be here and insult me, then you will be a screenshot that will be added to my Discord under the most disrespectful comments, so everybody can enjoy it, and then the comment will be deleted. That's it. And if you want to have a normal discussion, I'm all for it. Stay healthy, folks. Stay frosty. I talk to you next time, and thanks a lot for listening. Bye bye.